a season ago due to injury as a member of the Knicks, and we are underway. McDaniels will be trying to stick Doncic defensively.
But Luka went right into the lane, was able to draw the foul on the big guy. I think Gobert is going to be a huge factor.
Guarded by Randall this time. Good contest. Didn't matter. Doncic with 4 quick points for the Lakers. Here's Reeves. He drives the closeout. Luka with the cut and the layup.
Minnesota just cannot allow those second chance opportunities and giving Los Angeles extra possessions to start this game.
Doncic sees 2, pardon me. That was Anthony Edwards, saw 2. Got through the lane. McDaniels and Randall with a 2-on-1. McDaniels got his own miss and laid it in. Minnesota down by 2. McDaniels and Randall with a 2-on-1. McDaniels got his own miss and laid it in. Minnesota down by 2.
Austin Reeves had that shot right at the beginning, but so smart, taking it into the middle of the lane, drawing 2 and kicking it.
And Randall. Hachimura from deep. Laces it.
Another offensive rebound.
Doncic off the dribble handoff. Finney Smith checked into the ball game. Luka is on one right now to start this game.
And one of only 4 teams. And you're talking about OKC, Boston, and Cleveland as the other 3.
Yeah. All 60-win teams as McDaniels hits the wing 3 to make it a 5-point lead for the Lakers.
Defense against the Lakers has been pretty good to start, but they've given up so many offensive rebounds.
Doncic is locked in. We're on a fish grease alert right now. He's up to 12. Gobert matched up against him. Doncic with the spin, slams on the brakes. He's out here doing a clinic already here in the first quarter.
Well, using him as a screener, then he just pops right back out.
Naz Reid with a classy move to the basket. DiVincenzo with the rebound. Edwards running the lane in full flight, raises up and lays it home. That time they finished, Jay.
Well, and that's how he can get going a little bit, by getting something in transition.
Finch makes the call offensively. Edwards steps through and lays it home on the floater. Got crushed by a LeBron James screen and died on it. Inside, one more to the corner. Gabe Vincent. Butter.
So you have to take away his left, but catch and shoot opportunities, he knocks down those open ones.
Inside, Vando got his own miss. Vanderbilt back out to Finney Smith, open from deep. Rattles it home.
Just parked in the corner for a step-in 3.
Here's Randall, cross court to Alexander Walker from deep. He's been shooting it at over 40% this year.
Offensive rebound basket for the Lakers. Every offensive rebound, you kick it out for those open 3s. It's amazing how good that can be.
And the reigning 6th man of the year rattles in a jump hook at the other end.
15 of 27 from 3.
Wow. He's been great since being acquired in that trade. It's interesting that LeBron, for the first time in a playoff game, did not score in the first quarter. Boy, what a game a little bit earlier between the Clippers and the Nuggets. Reeves on the drive. Little giant killer, giant slayer over McDaniels. And speaking of drives, Alexander Walker into Randall. 10 on the shot clock. Back out to Reed for 3 for the lead. Got it. And Minnesota has stormed back here in the early portion of the second quarter. I think that Minnesota would try and get Julius Randle going a little bit. Nickeil Alexander-Walker with the float game inside makes it just a 2-point game.
Dunks this year for the Lakers, but it gives them a little more rim protection with him in there.
McDaniels left that short, got it back and laid it in over Hachimura. Minnesota doing all this with Anthony Edwards on the bench. Randall lets it fly. McDaniels with a big-time board. Oh, a little muscle ball inside. He had Reeves in the weight room.
Both freshmen together playing for Mike Hopkins is now with the Phoenix Suns.
James spins, fires, got it, and one. LeBron James on the board. 78% from the foul line.
I watched LeBron James a ton in high school.
Out to Hachimura from deep. Tipped out all the way to Randall. They got a 2-on-1. Alexander Walker to Conley from the corner pocket 3. Butter.
Well, that's a 5-point swing.
6 points in that first quarter. Sees two. Good nail help by LeBron. Raises up anyway, and it comes off. Back out to Reed for three. And Naz Reid laces the deep one. Chris Finch was telling us he loves when Mike Conley is aggressive, looking to score a little bit more than he usually does. The second quarter.
Well, they've done it with challenges, vertical challenges by the rim. They've made it really difficult on LA.
And Gobert got the block on James. James turns the corner, had it knocked away. Minnesota off and running. DiVincenzo, nice show and go, and Dante lays it in.
Like he's going to keep going. And then he just slows down or stops.
Incredible skill. Number 77.
Now Minnesota has matched that with 11 of their own, and Jaden McDaniels has been a big reason why with his offensive rebounds and stickbacks.
Out of the timeout, Hachimura slips out of the screen and nails the three. He has impressed the entire staff and his teammates with his ethos, his work ethic so far in getting in his pregame shooting routines and conditioning. Here's Edwards with 6 points in the ballgame, facing Finney-Smith. They shrink the floor on him. Randall on the drive, the kick to Reed, and another three ball by the reigning sixth-man of the year.
Penetration that was meant to get Julius Randle all the way to the rim. The penetration by Minnesota has set up a lot of easy opportunities for threes.
At Magic, his theme, his message to Edwards is to beat the king. You can't go around or under.
And instead, you give up a wide open three.
Anthony Edwards at the free throw line. Interesting story here, folks. Let this land on you. Chris Hines, his player development coach, his assistant coach right there.
He's got the athleticism and strength to go through just about anybody, go over.
Here's the king with the ball. James out front against Reed. A long two is good. Doncic with 18 in the ball game so far. And folks, don't forget, coming up on the Kia halftime, Malika Andrews, Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, Udonis Haslem, top with 8 points. Gets Luka on the switch. Likes that matchup, sprays it to the corner. Randall for three, got it. And that's the type of playmaking they're expecting from him, right?
Yeah, and he is a playmaking big guy.
James with a rebound, another opportunity for Los Angeles. 10 on the shot clock. Finney-Smith, back to James. Foul and one. J.J. Redick was telling us earlier that he has noticed LeBron's ramp up towards game one. James at the free throw line, a career high 78% this season. Completes the three-point play to get DiVincenzo. Here he is off the wide action, and DiVincenzo holds it and laces the deep three. Dante with some dynamite to end the first half.
And they outscored the Lakers 20-10 in the paint and really shut off the offensive glass in that second quarter, where they outscored LA by 18.
Edwards sprays it out to McDaniels. The corner three is pure. Shot clock down to 5. Edwards got to get busy, got downhill. Floater comes off, got it back. Randall from deep, and they cash in on a second opportunity.
Reeves was 1 of 6 in that first half. And Minnesota went after him on the defensive end.
Edwards, it's butter. Minnesota on a roll.
That just leads to a wide open three yet again.
Doncic way off, rebounded by Conley. Edwards with the push. McDaniels all the way to the hole, got it. The last time these two teams met, ironically in the conference finals, Rudy Gobert converting on the high handoff.
Score any fast break points in that first half, as you mentioned, Jay, and that they need to get back to being the aggressors. We've seen that certainly carry on here as LeBron James nails a three-pointer from the corner.
Back out to Edwards, one more to Randall. Got Luka in the air. Float game, comes out, got it back. Randall and one. Julius Randall putting some muscle in his hustle.
Minnesota driving the ball has put a ton of pressure on this defense.
Edwards couldn't finish, got all the way inside. And here's LeBron. James sprays it out to Reeves, open from deep, got it. 2 on the shot clock, Hachimura has to pull. And that's a great stop for Minnesota.
About as tough a two as you're going to take.
Off the dribble three, Anthony Edwards, hotter than fish grease.
You know, it takes some time after a trade for everybody to get used to one another.
They turn over Doncic. Conley pulls the three, and it's all coming up good for the Timberwolves. He was hanging with Steph, and he said, you know what, I'm going to shoot more threes this year. And shot about 10 a game and made 40%. Doncic, little light work inside off glass.
You should take more. But so many of them are off the dribble and step backs. Not like they're all standstill.
McDaniels races up inside over Luka for the bucket. Doncic looking for the post up, and Reeves almost threw it away. He does. McDaniels, and Minnesota has numbers. McDaniels onto the corner. Edwards sets his feet. Wet. That thing splashes again.
Really smart drive by Jaden McDaniels from the corner.
Gobert switches onto Doncic. Good contest, but Luka makes a tough shot. This Lakers team right now is disconcerted and discombobulated and disconnected as Reeves knocks down the three.
Yeah, he had been just 2 of 19 from 3 in April.
Found his groove at the right time. So did this guy. Naz Reid connects again.
Those.
He called for the trainer immediately. If your glass is half full guy, you're saying at least Chris Finch is up and able.
Resolute on the offensive end. You've got a big lead here. You cannot be turning the ball over like that.
They just did. Here's James. Puts his shoulder down, put his head down, got the lay. 21-point lead for the Timberwolves. Doncic got by DiVincenzo and finished off inside. Boy, what an addition DiVincenzo has been to this Minnesota team. Really finding his way in the second half of the season as Doncic scores over him.
You got this lead. You're not going to keep pitching a shutout on defense against the Lakers. You have to be good on offense.
DiVincenzo inside, got it to go off glass.
Minnesota just playing 5 out, and Austin Reeves went for another shot fake.
Got an easy one there. Somebody hit the snooze button defensively for Minnesota. DiVincenzo with the show and go out to Conley. Conley with the float game with the offhand, which is really his strong hand.
Gave a push in the back.
Yeah. Alexander Walker makes the first. Today's officials group, which has an average of over 17 years of NBA experience and includes 9 officials who have worked. Lead back up to 19. Doncic has to work expeditiously and got it to go off glass at the buzzer. That could potentially be crippling for the Timberwolves. Randall going to do a little bit more heavy lifting at that end of the floor. Knocks down the midi.
Well, he becomes more of a go-to guy, Julius Randle, who can be an on-demand scorer.
Here's Gabe Vincent. Fakes the pass. James with the cut inside. Jump hook. Rolls home. Luka trying to press up on Ant. With pristine, pulchritudinous footwork. Edwards knocks down the midi. Do it in front of the official. And now it looks like Anthony Edwards is at the scorer's table and will check back into the ball game for Minnesota. So
looked like it was going to be a little cross screen and then down screen for the screener, but he cut it short to get that 3.
Edwards off the bounce, spins back out to a wide open Randall. Cash out with pace into the front court. They've got numbers. Conley all the way to the rim, and Vanderbilt cherry picking at the other end. They didn't see him. Vincent pulls it. Vando with the tip in. Got his air fryer out, ready to cook. Ant-Man gets it back, pulls the 3, and it's wet. Playing some of the best basketball of the season towards the end of the year. James drives the closeout and punches it home.
Lakers now looking like a little 2-3 zone. They did a lot of that against Oklahoma City.
McDaniels attacks it, got the short midi. Edwards, Hachimura. Edwards with the tween. Over to Reed, catch and shoot three on the way, and he laces another one. Wow, and a little room service off the careless pass. DiVincenzo flying charter. And the lead balloons back to 111-90. LeBron comes with the double and help. Good catch by McDaniels. Little sidestep, little afro step into the paint. The Anthony Edwards text that George Sedano reported on earlier. And the essence of the text was, I'm told by usually very impregnable, but about 20 or so games into the season, he found his groove. And
well, they're outstanding defensively. The problem for Orlando is they haven't been able to score efficiently.
Yeah. They really struggle at that end of the floor a lot of times as Dalton connects.
Solid off the bench.
This is not unusual for the Timberwolves in this Anthony Edwards era. Remember, they went into Denver.
Solid off the bench.
Walking down the Nuggets in Game 7. It's not unusual for the Timberwolves. Connect in this Anthony Edwards era.
I think the Timberwolves are at least a little bit happy they didn't have to see the Nuggets yet again.